Today's episode is the second episode in our Summer in Phoenix Staycation series, where we visit some of the most recommended hotels in the Phoenix area for families that are bookable on points. Today, we are all about the Arizona Grand Hotel. So if you've been planning a trip to the Phoenix area or looking for a fun staycation, listen in. Hi, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Dwayne.
And we are your hosts of the Travel Party of Five podcast, where we share how we travel as a family of five around the world.
We will also share how we use points and miles to travel as affordably as possible and sometimes even completely free.
So if you're wanting to travel more with your family, but you're not sure how, we'd love for you to listen in.
So welcome to our podcast, where we hope you learn a thing or two to get you closer to your next trip. Welcome back.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in again.
Welcome back to Travel Party of Five.
If it's your first time, thank you.
Yes, welcome and hi. Nice to meet you. My name is Rhea. This is my husband, Dwayne. We're the little hosts of this fancy podcast. Before we jump into today's topic, which is a staycation that we just did, like literally we got home 3 hours ago, I think. And so it's very fresh. Also, we're a little tired. Just as a side note.
A lot tired.
Yes. Okay, before we jump in, I'm going to ask you this question that has absolutely nothing to do with anything travel related. Okay. Would you rather be a cowboy, a samurai, or a pirate?
Samurai.
And why is that?
Because no one can F with me if I'm a samurai.
Oh, Lord. Okay. It's some kind of personality test you're supposed to ask your husband. I don't know what each one means.
Also, I grew up in Japan, so...
Okay, fair.
I'm definitely going to pick a samurai.
Okay, well... I don't know what each of them mean. So, I don't know if you say samurai... No, I'm sorry. I know what a samurai is, and I know what a cowboy is.
Saying, you asked me this question, and then you don't know.
No, I'm saying, I don't know, what it means. Okay, if you say you're a samurai, then that says this about your personality. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
So what was your point of asking this question?
I just wanted to see what you would say.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we looked it up. Okay, if you're a samurai, it means you're an honorable guy, stick to the rules, and upholds the rules. Think lawful and good. If you're a cowboy, rough around the edges, stands for what he believes in, doesn't mind speaking his mind. And a pirate would be you do what you want when you want. Maybe not so great. Well, that's great. You're an honorable guy, according to this personality test.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But I break some rules.
Like what kind of rules?
I mean, whatever rules need to be broken.
I don't know how true that is because you can't send food back at a restaurant or anything that causes any kind of conflict.
I mean, I snuck beers into the pool today.
That's true. Also, Dwayne, we were looking at the final bill and I was like, wow, is this right? It seems high. And Dwayne was like, well, we would have saved $21 if you would have gone up and got all the food and drinks because all these little charges are all the tips that I left. And I mean, if I'm getting the food myself, I don't see a reason to tip.
I mean, they weren't big tips. I just,
I mean, I was a server and a bartender for a long time. So I'm definitely a 20% tipper when, we're sitting down and eating. But anyways, okay, let's get into the hotel. So we stayed at the Arizona Grand Hotel. This is not a hotel that's bookable direct with points. So it's not like a Hilton or a Marriott or anything like that. There are a couple ways that you can use points to book it, and we'll talk about that at the end, and I'll also walk through how we booked it. But first, a little bit about the hotel itself. So this hotel opened in 1987. It was last renovated in 2009, so it's definitely not super new or modern. It is set on 164 acres at the base of the base of the mountain. Base of South Mountain. Which did you know that that's the largest municipal park in the United States? South Mountain? I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
All of the rooms in this hotel are suites, which is perfect for families. So you can't just book like a basic, well, I mean, you can book a basic room, but the basic room is a quote unquote suite. And so
I had no idea.
by suite, we mean like there's a little living room area with a pull-out couch and then a separate bedroom area. And I think that the bedroom area can either be 2 queens or 1 king. We booked a 1 king bed suite. But there's 744 suites in this hotel, and they have both 1 and 2 bedroom options. So definitely a good option if you need a little bit of space.
I would have guessed there was more rooms than that.
It's very big. Like, it's a very, like, sprawling property. There's also a golf course, and you looked up the prices, and you said they weren't too bad.
Not too bad right now, because in the summertime, prices drop drastically.
Yeah, because it's so hot. They also have like access to hiking and biking trails right from the property. We didn't do any of that. So this trip originated with us deciding to do this because all of our kids are now done with school. So we wanted to take them as a treat. You know, our last kid finished school earlier this week, and so we wanted to take them because there's a water park at this hotel, and we've never been before, and I thought that would be super fun. And we mentioned it at one of our son's football practices to another family, and then they ended up texting us later, and they were like, I think we're going to do the same thing. Do you mind if we like crash your party? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, that would be great. And then they also invited a couple of other families. So we end up having 4 families, all with kids who not graduated, but go to the same school. And yeah, finished like the school year.
And how many kids were there? There was 8?
Let's see. We have
I think there was 8.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there was 10.
Oh, yeah, 10.
Yeah, so 10 kids and 7 adults. So we had a fairly large group. And we didn't have rooms, like, near each other or anything like that. But, like, we hung out at the pool. The kids swam all day and had just the best time. So let's go back to the room really quick. So, like I said, we booked a 1 king bedroom suite. The vibes here were very similar to the last hotel that we stayed at, to the point where we were kind of wondering if they were designed by the same person or people.
I would almost guarantee it was.
It was just very similar. Even the layout of the room was the same.
Yeah. But this one was way nicer.
It was definitely nicer. It didn't have that like musty smell. The pool area was much more appealing, let's say, and fun because of the water park, which we'll go into detail about that here in a few minutes. So you walk into the room, and again, I'll make an Instagram reel about this sometime this week if you want to see what it looked like. But you walk into the room, there's the couch with the TV and kind of the little mini bar area, and then there was, you walk through the door and there's the king bed in the bedroom and the bathroom. I will say the bathroom was less than desirable. The sink was outside of, the sink was in the bedroom, and then the toilet and shower were separated by a door, but you couldn't sit on the toilet and close the door at the same time. That's how tight it was. So you had to pretzel yourself around the door to shut it before you could go to the bathroom or take a shower.
I mean, it wasn't a horrible bathroom by any means. I mean, still.
It was fine.
I'm surprised that 2009 was their last upgrade. I would have guessed later than that.
More recent, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but it was fine. It was completely fine. The kids slept great. We all slept great. So in addition, to the water park, so they have a full-on water park with 3 pretty legit water slides and a wave pool, a fairly big hot tub, and also a pretty small kids splash pad area, really small. I think there were maybe 6 or 7 spouts of water that shot up, and there was a little kiddie pool that was about 1.5 feet deep.
I mean, this is by far the most legit water park I've been to stateside. I mean, at a hotel.
Yeah. I didn't go down any of the slides. Do you want to talk about the slides and what that was like?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like I said, these were the two most legit slides I've been on.
I think the website says it's an 8-story slide.
I could easily believe that. They're legit. I mean, my booty hurts still from going down these slides. Like, I was getting air off these slides.
Yeah.
And hydroplaning at the end there.
Our 2 boys went down them one time, and then they were like, no, we're traumatized. Dwayne did convince our oldest to go down a second time. He bribed him with ice cream, and so he did it a second time. But other than that, the kids didn't really have interest in the slides because they're definitely for like an older demographic. Or if you have a kid who's maybe like just super adventurous. Ours were just kind of like, no, that hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit. First of all, the water park I thought was great.
It was great. I also thought it was great.
Plenty of seating. Not a lot of shade, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of shade in Arizona. Like, it's just...
They should have more umbrellas. Without question, they should.
It's just an aesthetic thing. I'm pretty sure. Like...
It's stupid.
But still a great water park. Like she said, there's a wave pool.
Yeah.
There's a section of the pool where there's a volleyball net and a basketball hoop. A lazy river.
Oh, yeah, the lazy river. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, this was the most legit water park I've been to in a long time.
And definitely the only one we've ever been to in a hotel.
Yeah.
So with your room that you reserve, you get access. Well, I reserved for 2 adults and 2 kids because I couldn't do it for 5. And it comes with 4 wristbands to the water park. So if you have 5, like we did, I had to buy an extra one. No one blinked an eye that I needed a 5th one. No one was concerned about the occupancy of our room at all. And we certainly had more than enough room for all 5 of us. All 3 kids slept on the pull-out sofa. And then Dwayne and I had the king bed. The cost of the extra wristband was $50 a day. So it was $100.
Oh, was that in the price today that we paid?
I don't know. Probably not. Because I think I paid it at check-in, so I don't think it would have been on the bill. I don't know. So the cutoff is 3. So if you have a kid who's 3 or younger, they can go in for free. So probably what that means is if you have a kid that's 4 or younger, you just need to tell them they're 3 and they could go in. I said, my daughter and I went up to check in, and I said, I didn't know what the cutoff was. So I said, if she is 4, do I need to buy a 5th wristband? And the girl said, yes, the cutoff is 3. And my daughter said, Mom, I'm 5. She is 5. I know that she's 5. I just was kind of, I was fibbing a little bit to hopefully not have to pay the $100, but no, we paid it.
Yeah, you got to set that up before you go in.
I know, I just... So when we left, I said, Mommy knows how old you are, but if you ever hear me say that you're younger, you just don't say anything until we get like outside, and then you can ask me about it. She was like, okay. But she said 3 times, but Mom, I'm 5, like pulling on my arm. I'm 5. And I'm like waving at her, like, just stop talking. Oh, yes, bless her heart. So if you are a family of 5, like we are, that's the way to do that. I do think you can just buy like a day pass to the water park, but at $50 a pop for the day, you might as well just get the room, because the room only costs like $250 or $299. I can't remember, but for not much more, you can just spend the night, and you get access to the water park the day that you check in and the day that you check out.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about, we spent most of our time at the pool. So we ordered quite a bit of food at the pool for the kids. And, it's your basic chicken tenders, french fries, like
burger,
incredibly expensive $20 alcoholic drinks.
Nachos, $12 freaking dipping dots that totally overpriced.
Oh, yeah, that were very small.
Very small.
So the food is pricey. Like, there's just no way around that. For dinner, though, what we ended up doing was one of the moms went and picked up Little Caesars pizza, and we had 6 pizzas for all 17 of us. That ended up being more than enough, and I'm pretty sure they paid $40. for it. I think I heard.
It's Little Caesars, so.
But it was not bad pizza. Like, it
I mean,
wasn't
it's
bad.
not bad pizza.
It wasn't bad at all. I ate it and I was like, wow, this is surprisingly good, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not the best.
No, but I mean, for $40 to feed 17 people, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, can't beat that.
And so there's the location of the hotel, like there are definitely options that you could either DoorDash or run out and grab that, you know, so that you don't have to pay the hotel prices.
Oh, as a matter of fact, we were at the pool the first night, and one of the couples we were with brought a lot of beer
Yeah.
and drinks, and we didn't bring that many. So the first night I went to the lobby, to the gift shop to go get some, and I'm like, you know, how much are the high noons? She said $11 a can.
Oh my God.
And I said, I'm sorry, you said $11 a can? She said, yes. And then she goes, but the bellman can take you to Fry's. It's right down the street. So the bellman took me to Fry's.
Oh, is that how you,
Yeah.
I thought you just drove.
They took me to the grocery store that was right down the street.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
in a executive Tahoe.
Fry's is like, if you're not from Phoenix, Fry's is
Kroger.
like the Kroger. It's a grocery store. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
know
so
that
the bellman
happened.
took me to the store, and I grabbed an 8-pack of High Noon and a 12-pack of Mickey Ultra.
And the reason that you got those is they serve both of those at the
Not the
hotel.
Ultra, but I bought the Ultra because that's what the couple
That's what they
had.
wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, the high noons we got because you could buy a high noon there.
Yes.
And so if we were walking around
Yes.
with a high noon, like they would just assume we bought it there, but we didn't. And no one was like, occasionally they were checking bags when you walked through, but they didn't check
I don't
every
think
time.
they honestly, if you like just hide them on the bottom, they
don't
don't like
care.
go through it. They just like peek.
But also one time Dwayne and his buddy passed a like thermos through the fence.
Yeah, we like went to his car to make a drink, which was funny because there was other dads out there doing things of the same nature. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So there are like the food at the hotel is expensive, but there are ways
Just
around
like
it.
any other hotel.
I mean, yeah, I know. We did eat breakfast at the hotel. It was not a buffet. It was in like the lobby bar and grill. It was a menu. It was good, actually.
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
The coffee was good. They also have a Starbucks in the lobby where you can get like legit Starbucks drinks.
Again, you're paying hotel prices, though.
Oh yeah, it's more expensive for sure.
Yeah.
But I was able to get like the latte I normally get. They also had cold brew, which I also get a lot. So, and yeah, I mean, the breakfast was good. We had pancakes, bacon, all the
Yep.
basics. It's a basic breakfast menu, but it was good.
And you get to watch the golfers tee off from the hole number 1 there.
Yes, there is a nice view of the golf course from breakfast. And Dwayne was getting a chuckle out of watching these golfers because it made you feel better about your golf game.
Well, I'm horrible at golf, and there were some horrible. I would have fit right in.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked about, they have a spa at this hotel and you can golf. We mentioned that already. Did not experience the spa, but I would imagine it's pretty nice. Like the hotel in general, like the service was good. Let's talk about how we booked it. So you can book this through a travel portal, like at the Chase portal or the Amex portal, and you can use your points that way. Like we've talked about before, that's not going to really be like the best value for your points, but it would get you the room for free and it would be fine. You also could book with your Capital One card and then erase the charge, and that would also be an option for how you could book this. The way that we booked it was actually through American Airlines Hotels. So I am on a quest to earn American Airlines status, mostly as like a test to see if there's value in it for a family, because I admittedly am a little bit skeptical about whether or not we'll see the value in doing so or in having the status. But I'm currently at gold and the next one up is platinum, and my goal is to hit platinum status by the time we go to Cabo, because I want to see if we'll get some kind of an upgrade to first class for our 2-hour flight. I have no idea if we will. I don't know. I don't know how many people fly to Cabo. And I don't know. But that's my plan because I would like to maybe see if I could get us an upgrade if possible. As far as like what level of status am I aiming for, I think I'll just have to wait and see. Definitely I want platinum and then potentially the one above that. I don't think I'll get to the highest status level because it needs like a lot of points, but we'll see. And in the meantime, we're just earning a lot of AA miles, as we kind of get to the status level. So that's always helpful as well. So that's how we booked it. And so technically this is like booking through a third party. So like if you are going to do like a Hilton or whatever, like we talked about last time, you may not get your status benefits. But for this hotel in particular, there is no status or anything like that. They're not part of any major points program. So I had zero qualms about booking through the AA hotels. So I think I'm pretty sure it was $299 we spent for the night. And again, that included 4 passes to the water park on both Saturday and Sunday. And then we just paid the extra for the 5th person. And we will earn 2,300 AA miles on top of that. And I was able to use my Chase Sapphire card. And so we'll earn also like 900 Chase points. And then I put down my Amex Biz Platinum, the second one, for the incidentals. So any like food and stuff and drinks that we bought will go towards the minimum spend for that card. So I will say though, like when I was looking at the bill, I was like, wow, like this is a lot of money. And normally when we've booked with points, I worry less about the cost of it because the hotel itself was free, But this time it was like we had paid for the hotel and we paid for the food and the drinks. And I was like, wow, this is like not sustainable
and we typically get free breakfast because of your globalist status.
Also true, yeah. Also true. I mean, we probably should have gone out and like done like McDonald's or something, but I wanted to have a good kind of idea of the food so that I could report back to everyone. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I definitely felt the like, feeling when I looked at the bill, knowing that we paid for both of the room and the, all the food. That I don't normally feel that way when we use points, or I feel it less, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if you were going to go for like a 4 or 5 night vacation and spend that like
every day,
yikes, it's a lot. So I love how the points give us the freedom to not stress about, the cost of a hotel breakfast or whatever, pool food, whatever it may be. I really do appreciate that. And I'm grateful for that. And I feel like it's something you don't even really realize until you're like paying cash and you're like, oh my God. Okay. So before we wrap up, I think like 1, we should give like our final verdict on this. And also 2, who do you think that this hotel would be good for? I'll tell you what I think, and you tell me your thoughts. I think this is a fantastic hotel for families, especially if you have older kids. Like our 2 boys were a fine age for this. They're 11 and 8, and they were off with their friends. Each of them had a couple of friends that were like in their age group. Because as a background, our 2 boys go to different schools, but our oldest used to go to the same school as our 8-year-old, and so he still knows some of the people from that school, and that's who was on this like weekend trip with us. So they each had friends in their age group to play with, and there would be times where we wouldn't see them for 30, 45 minutes, and then we'd have to go like look for them and just verify like, yep, they're still fine, because they were in the river and they were playing volleyball and they were in the wave pool and they were going down the slide, and they were doing all the things.
Yes, I would agree with that. Also, we didn't mention this at all. There are lifeguards at this pool.
Yes,
and I mean they're everywhere.
Yes.
In the wave pool alone, there was 2. The slides, there are lifeguards everywhere. There, the lazy river. There are like lifeguard stations throughout the lazy river.
Yeah. So yeah, as a parent,
yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
As a parent, it eases your anxiety a little bit. Not yours, though, but for other parents.
Nope, not mine. So for our 5-year-old, I made her wear her little floaty most of the time, unless a grown-up was in the water with her, like staring at her. And she didn't love that. But even the wave pool, I mean, the waves were pretty big for someone her size.
Like, I wasn't opposed to it for this resort. I mean, because the wave pool did get really busy. I mean, at one point it was packed.
It was packed.
But like this morning when we went this morning, it was not anything like it was yesterday, and I was totally fine with her not having a floaty on. But that's me, not you.
I just am very aware of how quickly a child can drown. It is literally seconds.
And mind you, just so you know, we were front row seats, so I mean, we were right there.
But I mean, all you have to do is get distracted for just a minute.
I get it.
You know?
I get it, but
it's not worth it.
my anxiety levels not.
I know they're not the same as yours. Yes. So yes, there are lifeguards. I will say, like, for our 5-year-old, there was less for her to do because we wouldn't let her run free with her brothers, and nor did her brothers want her to be playing with them either, because they play super rough, and she just can't hang like that because she doesn't swim like they do yet. She will, but she's not there yet. So she was a little limited in what she could do without a grown-up. So we took her to the little kiddie pool. She likes to go in the hot tub, so we took her in the hot tub. But it was like we couldn't just sit and let her like go, you know? So I do think if you have older kids, this would be fantastic. We also they had a movie at the pool night. I'm not sure if it's Fridays and Saturdays or just Saturdays, but they played a movie at the pool. It was completely dark. I think it started at 8 p.m. And we went for that, which we normally wouldn't because the kids had already been in the water for like a solid 8 hours. But we went for that, had a great time. And the slides were still open then too. And you went down the slide.
Yes, I took advantage of that because
there were no lines.
Yeah. When it was busy, the lines were long, and it took forever. They just weren't efficient running these slides. But it had something to do with the water levels of the slide and whatever.
They had to wait for the water. After each person would go down, they had to wait for the water levels to return to a certain level before they could safely let someone else go down. But
and I mean, literally, it took like, not even exaggerating, probably 7 minutes after someone went down the slide. Like,
yeah, so the lines were long when it was busy.
No.
But I think if you're coming to Phoenix and you are like wanting to kind of go out and do stuff during the day, especially if you're coming in the summer, you'll be able to get a cheaper cash rate for sure. And then if you have older kids, you can come back to the hotel and you guys can go to the pool for a couple of hours and still enjoy, the water slides and all that. They still had lifeguards on duty, like everything. So, I mean, I think that would be a great way to kind of end the day and then start all over.
I would 100% come back to this hotel.
Yes. So, okay. So last time we rated it like on a, scale of 1 to 5, like stars. And the last one was we said was a 3. So what would you give this one?
I mean, this was a solid 4.
Yeah, I think that too.
Yeah. It was definitely way better than the last hotel we were at, the Tapatio.
Yes, I do think the service was kind of similar. Like, no one was up our butts, right? And like, there were no bellmen. Was there bellmen?
Yeah,
there were bellmen, but we just didn't use them.
They drove me to the store.
Oh yeah, okay, I take it back. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, the service in the hotel I thought it was great.
It was great.
I
mean,
we weren't in there for long. The bellmen were the ones that helped me the most. We've been to hotels where there's cocktail servers that go, walk throughout the pool. They didn't have that, which I thought was weird.
They had QR codes on the chair that you could scan.
But there's still, I mean...
Well, I mean, I know.
I just thought that was weird. But, I mean, it allowed me to sneak in some drinks, so that also saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So, yes, I think families, especially if you have older kids, this is a great hotel for that. Also, like a multi-generational trip, like if you have like, the grandparents and the the kids and the grandkids, and the maybe I'm going to be this is like a little bit of a stereotype, but grandpa and dad want to go golfing and like, mom and grandma hang back with the kids and take them to the pool. Like I could see that, being a thing too. I do not think this is a good hotel for couples or a couples getaway. There were kids everywhere.
Everywhere.
And in the hot tub, we were laughing because there were some couples in the hot tub, and then we were there with like all 10 kids, and plus other people's kids were in there. And we were just kind of laughing that like, this is not the place to come if you want to relax in the hot tub because there's literally children everywhere.
But you know what we didn't mention? There are other pools on this
Oh,
property.
yeah, that's true.
That are way less busier. So, I mean, if you are a couple, you can probably just hang out in the... I mean, mind you, there's still going to be kids there, just not...
Yeah, so there is the water park, and then there are other pools. The other pools are not fancy, like they're literally
not fancy.
rectangles.
They're just a pool with a hot tub, some seats.
Yeah.
That are within the walls of the hotel.
Yes. And it seemed to be at least 2 or 3 that we saw, so...
I mean, there was... So we were in the Camelback...
building.
Yeah, wing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there was 2 pools alone for that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a very big building, but...
And there were several other buildings as well that also had their own
our friends
pools.
stayed at another building, and they also had 2 pools, so, I mean...
Yeah, so that's true. That's a good point. If you want to get away from the kids, there are other pools that you could go to.
But have no service, so, I mean...
Yeah, it would be fine. But yeah, I would 100% go back. I really thought it was a really fun time for the kids.
And the kids had a great time.
I mean, they're so exhausted.
Yeah.
They're like literally falling asleep as we record this, which is great because my goal as a parent is always to exhaust my children. So love that. Okay. Anything else that we forgot or didn't talk about?
No, I think this was a quick great stay. Part 2 of our series.
If you've never, if you're in Phoenix or, the Phoenix area and you've never been to this hotel, I would definitely recommend it. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
A really good, a weekend trip. Staycations are great because you don't have to pay for airfare. Yeah. And it will definitely occupy your kids.
And if you are from Phoenix, it's right down the street. It's on the 10 and Vaseline.
Okay. We are heading to Yosemite and Lake Tahoe in the next few weeks. And so our next couple episodes I will actually be recording before we leave. And so those will be out next week and the week after. Also,
it'll just be her.
It will just be me because I have to record them this week and Dwayne will be working. So, actually you're off.
No, I'm building stuff.
Oh yeah, we decided as part of the way we're going to meet this minimum spend is we need to do some furniture reorganizing for the kids. And our daughter needs a bed and it's a whole long thing, but we're ordering a bunch of furniture that Dwayne is going to be assembling this week. So
yeah.
Anyways.
But no freaking jet skis.
No jet skis. If you listened to last week's episode, that was how Dwayne wanted to meet the minimum spend on my second Amex Biz Platinum. Sadly, the poll sided with me and we are not getting jet skis. It's not sad, though, because I don't want them.
Thank you to the listeners out there that voted for jet skis.
Hey, there were a few.
Appreciated more than you know.
There were a few who messaged me and were like, yes to the jet skis. And I'm like, yes, but no.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. One last thing. I opened up a wait list last week for basically a one-on-one consultation / session with me for an hour, where if you have points and you're just not sure how to use them, or you don't want to use them wrong, even though there's really no wrong way to use them. But if you want to make sure you're getting the most value for your points, I am going to be opening up sessions. It's probably going to be a solid 2 weeks before the wait list, ends or whatever. So you have some time, but I'll put a link to that in the show notes if that is something that might be interesting to you. I know there's a lot of people that listen that like to do their own kind of hunting and gathering and figuring out, and that's fantastic because that's how I am too. But if you're new and you just need like someone to hold your hand and say like, these are the points that I have, like, and I want to go to Hawaii, or I want to go to Europe, or I want to go to wherever, you can schedule time with me and I will show you like how I would recommend that you use them and give you some different options. So that is going to be opening up in the next likely 2 to 3 weeks. So if you want to get on the wait list, you will get an extra discount for being on the wait list. And so I will put a link to sign up to that in the show notes. As a side note, like the way that I can set up the wait list, I have to send you something. And so I'm just sending the link to the podcast. So like if you get the link to the podcast and you're like, what is this for? It's because the way that the Beacons like Linktree is set up is like I have to send something. So anyways, just as a side note, that's what you'll get until the wait list actually opens and it's like an actual thing. So okay, that is all we have. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with us to the Arizona Grand with the water park and all the fun family activities.
What's the next staycation series?
I actually haven't booked it yet because I need to figure out when we can do it between.
Slacking.
I know. Well, we have 2 vacations in the next month. And so it's just a matter of finding the time.
But I mean, it's going to be like Desert Ridge or something.
Yeah, Desert Ridge is going to be one of them for sure. It's a JW Marriott. The other, so our kids have a very short summer break. So by mid-July, they will all be back in school. So it's like we have to cram all the summer vacations into like a 6-week window. And so that is like kind of challenging. So yeah. And then we have the Grand Hyatt coming up in August. So we've stayed there, but we haven't been with our kids since the remodel. So yep. So we'll probably do Desert Ridge and then one other one. That's my plan. Okay. Anyways.
Yes, we appreciate you guys listening.
Yes. We're
Thanks
rambling.
for tuning in.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
Leave us a review. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.